Hey everybody, this is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. Today I am gonna share the Midnight Black Duo. This is the 2021 model Vespa Sprint 150 and the 2021 model Vespa Primavera 150. Both in the sport trims, and they both come in a matte black sporty finish. So I'll go over the whole trim package and what features they include. They're different in many ways, and in some ways they're very, very similar. So let me start with the pricing of the Primavera and Sprint sport models that are available in 2021. They do run a $300 premium over the standard model Primavera and Sprint. The Sprint being $57.49 and the Primavera Sport being $56.49. A standard base price of a Primavera nowadays is $53.49. And if you're looking to get the 150cc model, you're gonna save $1,500. So it's $1,500 less, and you can still get them in the exact same trim package. The only thing that they don't include is 100 cc's of engine power and the electronically locking seat. They use a mechanical lock, but they look identical. So if you're looking for the 50cc model, maybe your state allows you to ride a 50 with just a basic car license, that may be a perfect market for it. Here in California, the vast majority of scooters we sell are 150cc and up, as California requires a motorcycle license to operate any motor scooter in the state of California here. So I'll start out with the sport model. There's not a higher test motor. It's pretty much the same performing motor in the 150cc model, capable up to 70 miles per hour, and a 0 to 60 about 12 seconds, and a pretty brisk 0 to 30. Perfectly adequate for standard city riding and backcountry riding. Not really that adequate for freeway riding. I'd suggest upgrading to the larger scooter. As you can see, the most pronounced difference between the Primavera that's on my right and the Sprint is the two different headlights on them. They're both full LED headlights. The Primavera comes with this traditional round headlight, and the Sprint has this more hexagonal, rectangular style looking headlight here. And being full LED works really good. The Sprint does have a slight advantage of having a slightly better headlight over the Primavera, in my opinion. Both of them have the exact same matte finish paint job on the frame. And you can see the leg shield trim is very different between the two. The Sprint's going for the kind of classy look. So it's a contrast between the matte bodywork, matte black bodywork, glossy black wheels, and chrome trim all around the scooter. So that includes the headlight trim, the trim around your switchgear, a set of chrome mirrors that are kind of like a kidney bean style versus the standard round style that's found on the Primavera. So moving on to the horn covers of these pair of scooters. If you have the Sprint Sport, you're gonna get the red triple chevron look. If you move on to the Primavera Sport, you're gonna have the dark glossy gunmetal gray finish, both on the grill for the horn and also your leg shield trim. And there's one other thing that's different between the two fenders. The Primavera has the holes that accommodate a fender crest, like in a traditional older Vespa. The Sprint kind of goes for that sportier look with no fender crest. Suspension wise, pretty much identical between the two. They work the same, but you do get a red spring on the Sprint versus the Primavera with the black spring. Same size disc brakes, double piston ABS equipped disc brakes on the front. They both have the same size tires, being 12-inch tires, and then the difference changes once you flip over to the right side. So the Sprint has got this multi-spoke looking wheel. I've always liked that style wheel, it's pretty nice. The Primavera goes for a different look, kind of a two-tone gunmetal gray wheel with a spun aluminum edge. Both have a very unique and kind of high quality look to them. They're pretty nice. Sprint also has an S decal on the edges of the wheel. So as for the instrumentation cluster and controls on the handlebars, they're pretty much identical between the Primavera Sport and the Sprint Sport. If you turn this on, you got the full LCD instrumentation. I've covered all the functions and the Bluetooth connectivity of this instrument set on prior videos, so you could check those out if you're interested on how this functions. Pretty much ties to your phone, a Bluetooth helmet. Moving on down to the keys, you get the key fob like you do with any of the other 150s. The 50cc model is not going to include the key fob that opens the seat. Moving on towards the back of the scooter, the Sprint does have a more luxurious looking seat, or I guess a sportier looking seat. You got the white piping, the standard kind of matte finish vinyl, and you have a pleated Alcantara top of the seat. The only downside of this seat is it's pretty easy to stain if you get oil and stuff on it. You may need to use some type of conditioner to clean it. While if you move over to the Sprint Sport, it's got a more traditional seat, just the all matte gray vinyl finish with this gray double stitch that goes around the perimeter of the seat. So for the Sprint Sport package, they do have an all new 2021 graphics set that kind of ties in with the scooter very well. I do like the simplicity of the red and the gray stripe. Pretty nice, and it kind of embellishes the Vespa badge that's on the rear of the scooter. This is the first time I've seen them use a smaller Vespa badge on the rear of any of the modern Vespas. So that's like, is what I would call is the 4-inch long Vespa badge. If you move on to the Primavera, they have just a more simplistic looking all matte black look to it, but the larger 6-inch Vespa badge on there. Both have identical lighting on the rear, but the differences change when it goes up to the grab rail. The Sprint has the very angular looking grab rail, while the Primavera's got the more traditional chrome hoop for the grab rail. So the last difference between the Primavera Sport is the badges on the inside of the glove box. So you have an S150 for the Primavera, and you have a more blocked out stylized S150 for the Sprint. And of course, if you have the 50cc models, you can just pick the one off, and that's essentially what you get. It's very hard to distinguish the 50cc model from the 150. You can look for the lock that's on the side of the seat, and they do have a slightly smaller muffler, but there's very few cues that show the difference between a 150cc model and a 50cc model. And if you're wondering about the top speed of a 50cc model, they do sell one that has a top speed of 30, and the unrestricted version that tops out about 45 miles per hour. Thanks again for watching. This is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com here in San Diego, California. If you're looking to buy a Vespa here in San Diego, California, or Southern California region, check us out. We got a dealership that's fully open now that we're in June 2021. 3955 Pacific Highway, really close to the airport. I have a lot of customers, longtime customers. They'll fly in for vacation or visit family, and they'll just stop by and say hi. So we run a very big mail order parts department called ScooterWest.com. You can find it on the web, of course, parts for your vintage and modern Vespa. And if you're looking to just shop for a Vespa, kind of get an idea of what factory accessories fit your scooter, you could just search Vespa Store. It's the all new online Vespa store, and you can put together your scooter, what accessories fit it, what the price is, different trims, and you can even put in a pre-order for your new Vespa. If you're looking for more Vespa content, consider typing in Vespa Motorsport on the YouTube search, and will bring us right to our channel. And while you're at it, subscribe. You can find well over 600 videos all about Vespas.